Dengan izin Ya Arif. Proceeding Petisyen Penerimaan Masuk Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya pada hari ini dijalankan secara sidang video atas persetujuan semua pihak berikutan Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan yang berkuat kuasa sehingga 18 Februari 2021. Hakim yang bersidang pada hari ini ialah Dato Sri Mariana Haji Yahya. Dengan ini saya mempersilakan Arif Hakim.
Okey. Khas. Panggil kes.
Petisyen pertama WA 18-283-02-2020 Pempetisyen Priscilla Elizabeth Matthew.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Priscilla Elizabeth Matthew bagi pempetisyen pertama.
Yes, Miss Annie.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Annie Verghese, Peguam Pengusul yang mewakili pempetisyen pertama Priscilla Elizabeth Matthew.
AGC.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Adiba Iman bagi pihak Jabatan Peguam Negara.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Arif Zain bin Yusof Ali, mewakili Majlis Peguam Malaysia.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Ung Jiarang bagi Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur dan juga menyebut bagi Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Negeri Selangor.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya ingin memohon kebenaran untuk meneruskan hujahan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Okey, dibenarkan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. My lady, may I introduce the petitioner Priscilla Elizabeth Matthew. The petitioner was born in Kuala Lumpur and is the second child of Mr. Matthew George and Mrs. Alice Philippos. The petitioner had an early education in Sekolah Kebangsaan Seafield before continuing her education in Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan USJ 4. Like most teenagers, the petitioner was lost in the direction of her future after completing her secondary school education. Since the petitioner was a science student, her parents had assumed that she would pursue a science-related degree in university. However, the petitioner took a risk and embarked on this legal journey, something that was brand new to her. The petitioner admits that law school was no bed of roses, as the 3 hours examinations was grueling and nerve-wracking, as there was just too much to write within the time frame. At times, the petitioner even questioned her choice of becoming a lawyer, but throwing in the towel was never an option. She persevered in her studies and ignored her self-doubt. As Nelson Mandela once said, it always seems impossible until it is done. Despite the challenges faced, the petitioner graduated with upper second-class honors from Aberystwyth University and subsequently obtained her certificate in legal practice in 2019. The petitioner commenced her pupillage in Mrs. Paul and Associates under the tutelage of her pupil master, Mr. Paul Aisu. On this day of admission, the petitioner would like to first and foremost thank the Almighty God for all the blessings He has showered on the petitioner and her family. The petitioner wishes to take this opportunity to express her utmost gratitude to her family. She would like to thank her parents for their unwavering support and encouragement, without which she would not have been able to achieve any of her milestones in her life. Her parents never ceased to believe in her, even in the face of failure, and constantly pushed her to achieve great heights in life. No words can express how thankful the petitioner is to her parents for their love and sacrifices. The petitioner would also like to thank her brothers, Prashant and Prasad, for always being her confidant and source of inspiration. The petitioner would like to thank her pupil master, Mr. Paul Aisu, and partner Izzati Zainul, for providing her with opportunities and guidance throughout her pupillage, and for enabling her to see the great art of advocacy and persuasion in court. The petitioner would also like to thank her friends and relatives for always being there for her to make the tough times more bearable. The petitioner is also extremely grateful to Annie Burgess, her mover today, who has kindly agreed to take time out of a very busy schedule to move her call. Finally, the petitioner would like to thank all her colleagues at Paul and Associates for making her experience there a memorable one. My lady, I believe that the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of this honorable court. I believe that all the petitioner's papers are in order and that my learned friends from the Attorney General's chambers, the Bar Council, and the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Bar Committee respectively have no objections to her admission. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon agar Pempetisyen Priscilla Elizabeth Matthew diterima masuk dan didaftarai sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Pihak kami tiada bantahan, Ya Arif.
Tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Yang Arif, jawatan kuasa Peguam Selangor tiada bantahan.
Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Priscilla Elizabeth Matthew sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya, dan juga memerintahkan supaya nama Cik Priscilla Elizabeth Matthew dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya memohon kebenaran Mahkamah Yang Mulia ini supaya membenarkan Pempetisyen untuk menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Silakan Cik Priscilla Elizabeth Matthew.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Petisyen kedua WA 18-303-02.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Pempetisyen Chow Lok Chai Ying.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Chow Lok Chai Ying, Pempetisyen kedua.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Luar ICU dan saya hadir bagi pihak Pempetisyen kedua Chow Lok Chai Ying di dalam prosiding ini. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang mewakili Pejabat Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan juga Jawatan Kuasa Selangor adalah seperti yang telah diperkenalkan tadi. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya memohon untuk meneruskan hujahan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Ya, dibenarkan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. The petitioner was born on the 9th January 1995 in Kuala Lumpur to Madam Chow Chi Yong and Madam Sua Siu Chien. The petitioner completed her secondary education at Chung Hua Independent High School, Kuala Lumpur, and then attended Brickfields Asia College to do her law degree. She joined the University of London External Programme and successfully graduated with an LLB degree in August 2017. She then pursued her CLP, which she passed in November 2019. The petitioner then carried out her pupillage at Messrs T and Teo under the tutelage of Miss Lindy Tay Seok Lin. The petitioner would like to take this opportunity to express her gratitude to her father, Mr. Chow Chi Yong, and her mother, Madam Sua Siu Chien, for their love and care, as well as for their moral and financial support. Without their endless sacrifice, she would not be standing here today. The petitioner would also like to thank her siblings, grandparents, uncles, aunties, and cousins for their love and support as well. The petitioner would like to record her appreciation to her pupil master, Miss Lindy Tay, for her invaluable advice and guidance. The petitioner also would like to express her gratitude to everyone in Messrs T and Teo, especially Dato T, Datin Teo, who are my friends, Miss Chen, Miss Renuka, Mr. Lu, Miss Teresa, Kak Sazlina, Kak Ifa, Kak Zah, Christy, and Tima for their guidance and support, without which the petitioner said she would not have been able to make it through. The petitioner will carry with her the core values of Messrs T and Teo, which are excellence, accountability, and innovation, which are the vital traits of a lawyer. According to the petitioner, she has held steadfast to her dreams. Despite all the hurdles, she has remained committed to her ambition to carve out a career in law, and she has succeeded to turn her dream into reality. In this regard, Yang Arif, I understand that the petitioner will start her legal career with Messrs T and Teo. Based on the 9 months pupillage that the petitioner has undergone, I have no doubt that the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of the High Court of Malaya. I believe that all the course papers are in order. I believe that there is no objection from any of my learned friends. Therefore, Yang Arif, I respectfully pray that this honorable admit and register Ms. Chow Lok Tsai Ying, the second petitioner, as an advocate and solicitor of the High Court of Malaya. Mohon diperkenankan, Yang Arif.
Pihak kami tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
The Bar Council has no objections, Yang Arif.
Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Negeri Selangor tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Chow Lok Tsai Ying sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya, dan juga memerintahkan supaya nama Cik Chow Lok Tsai Ying dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif. Saya memohon kebenaran untuk pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri. Mohon diperkenankan.
Silakan, Cik Chow Lok Tsai Ying.
Susah juga nak pakai sendiri, ya. Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
Baik. Okey.
Petisyen ketiga WA 18-405-03-2020, Pempetisyen Michelle Ng Lee Wen.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Michelle Ng Lee Wen, pempetisyen ketiga pagi ini.
Ya.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Francis Ng Sai Wai, Peguam pengusul kepada pempetisyen ketiga Michelle Ng Lee Wen. rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili pihak Jabatan Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur telah pun diperkenalkan sebelum ini. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon kebenaran untuk meneruskan prosiding ini dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Ya, dibenarkan.
Much obliged, my lady. My lady, I am especially proud to move the petitioner's call today, not only because I know the petitioner to be of exceptional character and grit, but also because I am her father. The eldest daughter of myself and my wife, Madam Jin Chu, who is also an advocate and solicitor of this honorable court. The petitioner says that her interest in law began from a very early age as a result of the environment that she grew up in. Therefore, it was to no one's surprise when upbringing eventually led the petitioner to pursue a career in law, just like her parents did before her. The petitioner read law at the University of Reading. She then pursued the BPTC at BPP University Bristol and was called to the Bar of England and Wales by the Honourable Society of the Inner Temple a year later. Upon moving back to Kuala Lumpur, the petitioner commenced pupillage at Mrs. Chia Te and Su under the tutelage of Mr. Te Meng Teck. Throughout her pupillage, the petitioner was exposed to various aspects of a very demanding and complex corporate litigation practice, one that oftentimes spanned across multiple jurisdictions. I'm pleased to inform my lady that the petitioner has since been retained at the firm and will continue to hone the aptitude and skill sets required of an accomplished litigator. The saying rings true in that it takes a village to raise a child, and it is to this village that the petitioner owes her utmost appreciation. The petitioner first wishes to thank her pillars of strength, especially her parents, grandparents, and Nicole, Jason, and Jordan, for their unconditional love and support all these years, for instilling in her a sense of fearlessness, to dream a little bigger, to reach a little higher, yet always to remain grounded and uncompromising in her roots and values. To her pupil master, Mr. Te, for taking her under his wing and taught her more about practice in 9 months than in 4 years of law school, the petitioner is eternally grateful. To all her friends whom she has accumulated throughout the years, for always being there to celebrate her milestones and achievements as if they were their own. And lastly, to all at Mrs. Chia Te and Su, Team TMT, the partners, lawyers, and support staff, for the constant steady hand of guidance, many of whom the petitioner is honored to now call friends. The petitioner would like also to take this opportunity to express that everything she achieves today is achieved in all their names, in the hope that one day she will become a daughter, sister, or friend they will be proud of. My lady, having watched the little girl that was running around the office playing lawyer to now becoming one herself, I can personally vouch for and attest that she is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and a solicitor of this honourable court. Yang Arif, saya sesungguhnya percaya bahawa semua surat cara Pempetisyen adalah teratur dan rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili Jabatan Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan terhadap petisyen ini. Dengan itu Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon supaya Pempetisyen Michelle Ng Lee Wen diterima masuk dan daftaraikan sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Pihak kami tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
The TLBA has no objection, Yang Arif.
Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Michelle Ng Lee Wen sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan supaya nama Cik Michelle Ng Lee Wen dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya memohon kebenaran Mahkamah yang mulia ini supaya Pempetisyen dijemput untuk menjumpakan diri sendiri.
Ya, silakan Cik Michelle Ng Lee Wen.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Petisyen keempat, WA 18-1667-10-2019, Pempetisyen Nurul Nabila binti Muhammad Adnan.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Nurul Nabila binti Muhammad Adnan, Pempetisyen keempat pada hari ini.
Ya.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Tepohai, Peguam pengusul yang mewakili Pempetisyen keempat Nurul Nabila binti Muhammad Adnan pada hari ini. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili yang berbahagia Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jabatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur telah pun diperkenalkan awal tadi. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya ingin memohon kebenaran Yang Arif untuk meneruskan prosiding ini dalam bahasa Inggeris Yang Arif.
Dibenarkan.
Yang Arif, may I introduce the petitioner, Nurul Nabila binti Muhammad Adnan. The petitioner was born on the 24th of December in Kuala Lumpur and is the firstborn of her parents, Mr. Muhammad Adnan Zambahari and Miss Mini Mawarni Rahmat. She was also cared by, loved dearly by her late grandmother, Haji Wan Norman Jamaluddin. The petitioner had her early education in Sekolah Kebangsaan Subang Jaya before continuing her secondary education in Sekolah Menengah Subang Jaya. The petitioner read law at the International Islam University Malaysia, where she graduated with a second-class upper division. During her time at university, the petitioner had the opportunity to go on a sponsored exchange program by the US government in Arizona State University, USA, where the petitioner find was one of the memorable highlights of her varsity years. In October 2019, the petitioner commenced a pupillage in the chambers of Mr. Syed Ibrahim and Co. under the tutelage of Mr. Syed Amir Shakib Asalan. On this day of admission, the petitioner wishes to take this opportunity to first and foremost express her utmost gratitude to her family. She would like to thank her parents for their unwavering support and encouragement, without which she would not be able to achieve any of the milestones in her life today. Her parents never ceased to believe in her, even in the face of failure, and constantly push her to achieve great heights in life. No words can express how grateful the petitioner is to her parents for their love and sacrifices. The petitioner would also like to especially thank her late grandmother, Haji Wan Norman Jamaluddin, whom she wished to be here today to witness the petitioner's special day. The petitioner hoped that she have made her proud. Above all, the petitioner today would like to thank her own self for pushing through and not giving up during this 9-month period, despite her personal battle with health issues since 2017. The petitioner would also like to thank her pupil master, Mr. Syed Amir Shakib Asalan, together with the firm's partners, Mr. Mak Lim Kun, Ms. Liza Umar, and Mr. Muhammad Izzul Faris for providing her with opportunities and guidance throughout her pupillage, and for enabling her to see the great art of advocacy and persuasion that she learned in law school come to life. Finally, the petitioner would also like to thank all her colleagues at Mr. Syed Ibrahim and Co. for making the experience there a memorable one. Yang Arif, I believe the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of this honourable court. I believe all the petitioner's papers are in order and that my learned friends from the Attorney General Chambers, the Bar Council and the Kuala Lumpur Bar Committee respectively have no objection to this motion. Saya memohon agar pempetisyen diterima, masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaysia.
Pihak kami tiada bantahan, Ya Arif.
Tiada bantahan, Ya Arif.
Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Negeri Selangor tiada bantahan, Ya Arif.
Baik, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Nurul Nabila binti Muhammad Adnan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan supaya nama Cik Nurul Nabila binti Muhammad Adnan dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif. Saya memohon kebenaran membenarkan pempetisyen menjumpakan dirinya sendiri.
Ya, silakan Cik Nurul Nabila binti Muhammad Adnan.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
Petition kelima, WA 18-2013-11-2019, Pempetisyen Aina Zamirah binti Zamaili.
Dengan izin Ya Arif, Majdah Muda Peguam Pengusul bagi Pempetisyen kelima, Cik Aina Zamirah binti Zamaili. Bersama-sama dengan
saya Aina Zamirah binti Zamaili, Pempetisyen kelima.
Ya, boleh.
Dengan izin Ya Arif. Terima kasih Arif. Bersama-sama dengan saya pada pagi ini adalah rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang mewakili Jabatan Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur dan Selangor seperti mana yang telah diperkenalkan terdahulu kepada Ya Arif. Ya Arif, Saya memohon untuk meneruskan penghujahan saya pada pagi ini bagi pihak Pempetisyen kelima, ya Arif. Beliau dilahirkan pada 1 Ogos 1994 di Kuala Lumpur, Perak. Pempetisyen merupakan anak bongsu daripada 4 orang adik-beradik kepada pasangan pendidik Encik Zamaili bin Mahamud dan Puan Adilah binti Abdullah. Pempetisyen telah mendapat pendidikan awal di Sekolah Rendah Kebangsaan Sultan Idris II, Kuala Lumpur dan mendapat pendidikan menengahnya di Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Raja Perempuan Kelsum sebelum berpindah ke Sekolah Berasrama Penuh Integrasi Gopeng, Perak. Setelah tamat sekolah menengah, Pempetisyen berjaya memperoleh beasiswa daripada JPA dan kemudiannya diterima masuk ke Pusat Persediaan Intech Education College Shah Alam pada tahun 2012 sebelum beliau berangkat ke luar negara untuk memulakan pengajiannya di Universiti Essex, United Kingdom. Beliau telah berjaya menamatkan pengajiannya pada 2017 dan telah dianugerahkan ijazah sarjana muda Undang-Undang Kepujian kelas kedua atas. Sepanjang tempoh pengajiannya di universiti tersebut, Pempetisyen menyertai pelbagai aktiviti dan program kesukarelawanan. Titik permulaan penyertaan Pempetisyen dalam program di universiti adalah menyertai program Street Law Project dan juga aktif di dalam program Peer Mentor, di mana Pempetisyen berpeluang menjadi mentor kepada pelajar jurusan undang-undang tahun 1. Kejayaan yang paling bermakna bagi Pempetisyen adalah apabila beliau telah menerima sebagai anugerah Gold Award pada tahun akhir Pempetisyen di sana. Setelah menamatkan pengajian di universiti, Pempetisyen memulakan pengajian untuk peperiksaan sijil amalan guaman sambil bekerja sebagai paralegal di Tetuan Nur Aziah Diana & Co dan juga di Tetuan Haizan Chu & Co. Di sanalah Pempetisyen berpeluang menceburkan diri dalam bidang guaman dan melihat segala serta merasai sendiri cara bekerja sebagai seorang peguam di firma guaman. Pempetisyen merasa amat bertuah, Arif, kerana telah berpeluang mendapat tunjuk ajar yang tiada galang gantinya daripada Cik Puan Siti Aisyah Chu binti Abdullah, master beliau sepanjang tempoh latihan dalam kamarnya di Tetuan Haizan Chu & Co. Sepanjang tempoh itu juga Pempetisyen telah mempelajari pelbagai cabang ilmu undang-undang, terutamanya kes berkenaan milikan tanah, cara penyediaan kontrak, kes berkenaan strata. Pempetisyen juga telah terdedah dan didedahkan dengan selok-belok menguruskan urusan firma dan telah diberikan kepercayaan untuk membantu dalam kerja-kerja pengurusan firma. Ya Arif, pada hari yang bersejarah ini, Pempetisyen mendedikasikan sepenuhnya penghargaan beliau kepada kedua ibu bapanya atas segala curahan kasih sayang, bimbingan dan sokongan yang tidak berbelah bahagi dari hari pertama beliau dilahirkan dan berimpian menjadi seorang peguam selepas itu. Tidak dilupakan juga Pempetisyen menunjukkan kejayaannya kepada adik-beradik Ahmad Mahfuz, Asyatun Naim, Alia Syazwani, ahli-ahli keluarga di Mahamud dan Bani Abdullah, guru-guru pensyarah dan teman-teman beliau yang sentiasa memberikan kata-kata semangat. Penghargaan khas ini juga Pempetisyen tujukan kepada pengajar master beliau, Cik Puan Siti Aisyah Chu, yang telah banyak membimbing dan mengajar Pempetisyen untuk menjadi bukan sahaja seorang peguam yang berkompeten, malah turut memberi banyak nasihat tentang kehidupan. Penghargaan ini juga dipanjangkan untuk keluarga Tetuan Haizan Chu & Co di atas tunjuk ajar dan nasihat serta sokongan sepanjang tempoh latihan Pempetisyen di firma tersebut. Sebelum saya akhiri ucapan hari ini, Arif, saya pohon menjual serangkap pantun kepada semua Pempetisyen yang hadir pada hari ini, Arif. Harum sungguh bunga melati, hiasan sanggul memikat hati. Junjunglah etika sehabis tinggi, diri dihormati, hidup diberkati. Ya Arif, saya percaya bahawa semua surat cara Pempetisyen adalah sempurna dan teratur. Saya juga sesungguhnya percaya bahawa Pempetisyen adalah seorang yang berkelayakan menurut Akta Profesyen Undang-Undang 1976. Dan saya juga percaya bahawa rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang mewakili semua badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai sebarang bantahan terhadap permohonan Pempetisyen hari ini. Oleh yang demikian, Ya Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon kepada Mahkamah yang mulia ini untuk menerima dan mendaftaraikan Pempetisyen Cik Aina Zamira binti Zamaili sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Pihak kami tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Negeri Selangor tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Baik, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Aina Zamirah binti Zamaili sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Cik Aina Zamirah binti Zamaili dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif. Dengan izin, saya memohon kebenaran Mahkamah yang mulia ini untuk membenarkan pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Silakan Cik Aina Zamirah binti Zamaili.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
Baik.
Petisyen ke-6 WA 182173/12/2019 Pempetisyen Nandini anak perempuan Tivan.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Nandini anak perempuan Devan, pempetisyen ke-6 dalam senarai.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Silva Velu, I back again. Adalah peguam pengusul yang mewakili pihak petisyen nombor 6. Nandini anak perempuan Tevan. Rakan-rakan bijaksana yang masing-masing mewakili yang berbahagia Peguam Negara, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur yang telah diperkenalkan sebentar tadi. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon untuk meneruskan ujian saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dibenarkan.
Much obliged, my lady. We stand before this honorable court today on the petition of the petitioner to be admitted as an advocate and solicitor of the High Court of Malaya. My lady, I'm asked to share the petitioner's background. The petitioner was born on the 23rd of August, 1994, the only child of Mr. Tevan Nagapan and Madam Santa Kumari Chandrasekharan. As educators, the father being a university lecturer and the mother being a school teacher, they were uncompromising when it came to the petitioner's education and constantly pushed her to do her best. However, as loving parents, they also provided her with the emotional support and encouragements she needed in times when all she wanted was to give up. It was through their love and was sweat and tears that the petitioner stands before my lady today, and for that the petitioner owes them a debt that they can never be repaid. My lady, following the completion of a secondary education at SMK Seafield, the petitioner started on the road to legal practice in earnest with A-levels and LLB at Brickfields Asia College, where she spent 2 years before obtaining a degree after a final year at the University of Liverpool. The petitioner would then spend the next few years seeking out various challenges in the working world before deciding she was ready to attempt a CLP, which she cleared at the end of 2019. A year later, she now stands before my lady, ready to spread her wings as a full-fledged lawyer at last. My lady, the petitioner's journey to where she is today was less of a walk in the park and more of a arduous trek through treacherous terrain, throughout which she had stumbled and fallen flat on her face more than once. That she was able to get back on her feet and continue pleasing them one in front of the other until the very end is a testament not only to her own tenacity and perseverance, but also to the never-ending love, care, and patience shown by those around her, who held her up and even carried her when she was too weak to stand on her own. First and foremost, the petitioner offers a profusion of thanks to to her master, Mr. Joseph Brian Reuben Neto. Mr. Neto saw a spark in this petitioner that compelled him to take her in, as he has taken no one else before as his pupil. Under his tutelage, the petitioner has been exposed to multitude of matters, including an international scale Ponzi scheme, multiple Court of Appeal and Federal Court matters, and a judicial review of an industrial court decision, which was in fact heard by your leadership in January of last year. The petitioner came under Mr. Neto's wing, knowing nothing of litigation beyond the theory she had studied in classes, and he brought them to life before her eyes, allowing her to learn more than she ever could have from any textbook. The petitioner would next like to thank the partners, lawyers, and support of Mrs. Naik and Associates, where she underwent her pupillage. Everyone she met, from Mr. Jayaviran Naik himself to Suresh, who ran dispatch for the firm, has something to teach her. The petitioner is especially grateful to Mr. Sivakumaresan, who provided her with endless amount of support and guided her through her first trial, as well as to Mr. Logan, Mr. Guna, and Ms. Sri, who always there to answer questions and provided whatever guidance they could. A huge thank you from the petitioner also goes out to a fellow pupil and sister-in-arms, Miss Vichitra Chandra, for being a fantastic friend, confidant, and fellow midnight oil burner. The past year has been full of ups and downs, and the petitioner could not have asked for a better companion to navigate with them. Special mentions also goes to Shaja, Janani, and Iwin of the exec team for the love, joy, and friendship they offered the petitioner throughout the pupillage. Last but most certainly not the least, the petitioner would like to thank the judges, the judicial commissioners, and the registrars before whom she has had the privilege of appearing, as well as the interpreters, the court staffs, the clients, and the plaintiff solicitors she had met along the way. The petitioner is thankful for everything she has learned from everyone she has crossed paths with, for she believes that the knowledge gained will help her somewhere along the way in a legal career. And Arif, I believe the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as advocate and solicitors of the High Court of Malaya, and that her papers are in order. I believe my learned friends from the AG Chambers, the Bar Council, and the Kuala Lumpur Bar Committee have no objection. Oleh demikian Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon supaya Pempetisyen Nandini anak perempuan Tewa Tewan diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Kuala. Mohon diperkenankan Yang Arif.
Pihak kami tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Baik, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Nandini, anak perempuan Tewa Tewan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya, dan juga memerintahkan supaya nama Cik Nandini, anak perempuan Tewa Tewan dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya memohon kebenaran Mahkamah Yang Mulia ini untuk pempetisyen menjubahkan diri sendiri.
Ya, silakan Cik Nandini, anak perempuan Tewa Tewan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Petisyen ke-7 WA 18-2213-12-2019, Pempetisyen Chiu Su Lin.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Chiu Su Lin, Pempetisyen ke-7.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Wilson Ho Shin Lik, Peguam pengusul yang mewakili Pempetisyen ke-7 Chiu Su Lin. Bersama saya adalah rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili badan-badan berkenaan yang telah pun diperkenalkan awal tadi. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah dirinya memohon untuk meneruskan prosiding ini dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Dikenalkan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. Yang Arif, the petitioner, Ms. Chew Sulin, is born in Kuala Lumpur on the 16th of May 1991 and is the eldest daughter to Mr. William Chew and Mrs. Elizabeth Lay, who are in attendance with us today. Together with her parents, her two sisters, grandparents, relatives, and friends are also viewing this momentous occasion live via YouTube. Upon completing her education at Quenching High School, the petitioner was asked by her mother, Mrs. Lay, on her desired future occupation. Without any hesitation, the petitioner replied that she wanted to be a lawyer. Mrs. Lay tried to dissuade the petitioner and have her to pursue a public relations and communications career instead. But this was met with a firm and resolute no by the petitioner. The petitioner resolutely reaffirmed her interest to pursue her ambition to become a lawyer. Henceforth, the petitioner commenced her journey to become a legal practitioner. Sure, there were hiccups along the way, but with her enthusiasm, passion, and the unending encouragement and unwavering support from her family, relatives, and the very gracious, kind, and helpful peers, elders, and friends along the way, she has achieved her dream. The petitioner's dedication, persistence, and perseverance has finally paid off when she successfully obtained her LLB honours from the University of Northumbria in the UK, and subsequently the Certificate of Legal Practice, or CLP, on December 2019. Since then, the petitioner underwent her pupillage in the chambers of Mr. Bruce Lim at Messrs. Allen Lim and Salawati, and thereafter completed her pupillage in September 2020. On this special day, my lady, the petitioner would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and express her deepest gratitude and sincere thanks to, firstly, her mother, Mrs. Elizabeth Lay, for her sacrifices, unwavering support, and encouragement throughout the years. Her grandparents, father, and sisters for their support, motivation, and belief in her potential and capabilities. Her uncle, Mr. Alan Lay, and his family residing in the United Kingdom for taking great care of her during her studies in the UK and their positive encouragement. Her fiancé, Keith Lim, and every member of his gracious, generous family for their care, endless encouragement, and support. Mr. Alan Lim for hiring her into his esteemed firm and for his generous advice and passionate support, imparting his invaluable knowledge, wisdom, and guidance to upcoming budding lawyers. Her master, Mr. Bruce Lim, for his tutelage and his gracious guidance and instructions. All the staff in Messrs. Allen Lim and Salawati for their kind guidance and welcome. Mr. Chan Kok Keong from Messrs. Shuklin and Bok. Ms. Jo Leity from Messrs. Chandelamore, and Ms. Ng Sayen from Messrs. Rajadara and Low for the opportunity to intern at their respective firms. She appreciates and values the insights and guidance on the areas of law they specialized in during her internship. Mr. Hao Chin-Tek, as well as the lawyers and ex-colleagues of Messrs. Kairin Nisa and Co. for the professional development opportunity provided to the petitioner during her 2 years with them as a paralegal. Her relatives, close family friends, Mr. and Mrs. Richard Tong, Mr. and Mrs. Ho Kuen Yi, Mr. and Mrs. Tong Carmen, Mr. and Mrs. M.C. Yong, who all supported, encouraged, and given her the confidence to pursue her ambition. Her bosom buddies, Melissa Tiang, Ting Sim Mei, and Marcia Lee, for their encouragement and support. Finally, the petitioner would like to also thank all the learned friends she has made along the way on this journey to become a lawyer, who are also here with us today to witness the petitioner's long call today, this morning. Yang Arif, saya percaya semua surat cara pempetition adalah sempurna dan teratur. Saya juga sesungguhnya percaya bahawa pempetition adalah seorang yang berkelayakan menurut Akta Profesyen Undang-Undang 1976 dan bahawa rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang mewakili semua badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai sebarang bantahan. Oleh yang demikian, saya dengan rendah dirinya memohon suatu perintah agar Pempetisyen Chiu Su Lin diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Pihak Peguam Negara Malaysia tiada bantahan, Ya Arif?
Tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Negeri Selangor tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Baiklah, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Chiu Su Lin sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan supaya nama Cik Chiu Su Lin dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Yang Arif, saya memohon izin untuk Pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Ya, silakan Cik Chiu Su Lin.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
Dengan ini, saya menjemput Yang Arif Hakim untuk memberikan ucapan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. Federal Council Puan Adiba Iman Ahmad Hassan, representative of the Attorney General's Chamber, Cik Arif Zain Yusof Ali, representative of the Malaysian Bar, Mr. Ui Jia Liang, representative of the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Bar Committee, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to begin by congratulating all of you on your admission this afternoon as advocates and solicitors of the High Court of Malaya. And I also wish to congratulate your parents and loved ones who are with us today to witness and share in your success. Congratulations to the masters who had willingly and diligently shared their legal knowledge during the 9 months of pupillage period to all petitioners on the reality of this profession. Congratulations also to all family members and friends who have been giving unwavering support to all petitioners throughout their journey. The legal profession is a noble one and respected profession. Since the beginning of civilized nation until today, this profession has been given great trust in their roles and responsibilities in implementing and upholding justice. Undoubtedly, this field has obstacles and challenges for its practitioners, especially during this period where the whole world is fighting the COVID-19 outbreak, which is impacting the world's economy, including the legal profession in Malaysia. As such, it can be said that the current situation shows that the average young lawyers will face the challenges of a competitive job market. Be that as it may, I believe that no matter what challenges and obstacles arises, it will not be a hindrance for this profession to continuously grow, and the services of the petitioners are still needed. In addition, the COVID-19 pandemic has also changed the lifestyle and method of communication to a new norm that needs to be practiced from now on. In the context of the legal field in Malaysia, most cases are now being conducted online in response to the government's call to curb the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, we have to ensure that we are well equipped to face whatever obstacle that may occur, especially in empowering knowledge and skills regarding information technology. The practice of law is a great learning and a teaching life experience. You will learn more law and more about the law as you progress in your profession. The experience that you acquire from your interactions with your clients will teach you many lessons about life that you will not find in many other professions. Become a criminal lawyer, and you will see the darker and seamier side of life and learn of its harsh realities. Become a corporate lawyer, and you will see the profit-oriented and business-minded world and learn of the human motivations that are driven by a materialistic life. become a family law lawyer, and you will see the social problems of failed or dysfunctional families and a side of life you have never seen before. Then you may begin to understand and have more compassion for those who are less fortunate and the problems they endure. Then you may begin to appreciate all the social and other problems of society, as has been said often, from the womb to the tomb. So in a modern city government, by the law, if there is a desire to have people to cope with their lives, the law is a good career choice for you. As I said earlier, there are many areas of law practice that you can specialize in, one of which is the litigation. The litigation bar is an essential part of the administration of justice. Litigation lawyers perform an essential role in pursuing or protecting clients' civil and property and other rights, and in defending people charged with crimes. In the discharge of their role as officers of the court, they promote the rule of law. In the legal world, where the successful corporate lawyer is admired for his business acumen, it is the successful court lawyer who is held in awe for his forensic skill. But whichever area of law you choose to practice in, you will need to keep up with developments in that area if you wish to excel. As in everything else, knowledge is power. The more you know of any subject, the greater will be the demand of your knowledge in that area. Specialization is the key to success in law practice today. In your early years as a lawyer, the opportunities to specialize may be few, but if you are able to stay in an area of practice where you find job satisfaction as well, you will be an expert in that area in due course. In every case you take, whether big or small, remember that it is important to someone. For better or for worse, your advice and advocacy as a lawyer affect and change people's lives. Choose your area of practice wisely and apply your legal knowledge and skills honestly and scrupulously to help those in need. And in the process, you will, I believe, find fulfillment in the law. It must be remembered that the law is not just an ordinary occupation. It is a vocation committed to justice. As main stakeholders of the legal system, lawyers play a profoundly important role in safeguarding the quality of justice. Indeed, one of the privileges of being a lawyer is the provision of legal representation to those who are disadvantaged. I would like to take this opportunity to encourage those in the profession who, despite their demanding careers, give their time to help others who would not otherwise have access to legal advice. I hope that those of you who are here today will do likewise in the fullness of time. To all petitioners, be a lawyer who is dedicated, full of integrity, ethical and high discipline, and strive to improve skills and knowledge in this profession for the better future, not only for the petitioners, but also his profession. And thank you, the court is adjourned.
Mahkamah bangun.